relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
Your heart beats for generations.
Your heart is so many things. It beats all the time, and it works very hard to keep you moving through your day, keeping your thoughts clear. It's the most important organ in your body.
Every beat of your heart tells a story of love, resilience, and hope. Taking care of your heart means creating more moments with the ones you cherish. Learn more at hennepin.us/heart-beats. That's hennepin.us/heart-beats.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950. What does it mean to begin? Creation Story explores Native origin stories through powerful contemporary art, connecting past and present with every brushstroke in sculpture. Explore how identity, culture, and resilience are shaped through art. Creation Story, now at All My Relations Arts through July 26th. This exhibition invites you to the heart of the Ochate-Shikoin storytelling, where spiritual relatives guide the way. Open to all. Learn more at allmyrelationsarts.org. Experience the beginning. Experience Creation Story at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis.
I'll never forget. I was driving my Sienna from Rudy Luther Toyota, and I was hit at 35 miles an hour, rear-ended square flush. If not for the structural integrity of my Sienna, I wouldn't be here right now. There's a lot I can say about Rudy Luther Toyota, about their fantastic service department and their great selection, but being able to say your car saved my life is the best endorsement I can make. Toyotas from Rudy Luther Toyota are my highest recommendation. Get one today and tell them me, Matt McNeil, told you to stop on in. Rudy Luther Toyota, 394 and 169 in Golden Valley.
What does it mean to begin? Creation Story explores Native origin stories through powerful contemporary art, connecting past and present with every brushstroke in sculpture. Explore how identity, culture, and resilience are shaped through art. Creation Story, now at All My...
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Cody Cup, Henny Cup,
because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade.
What does it mean to begin?
To all my
Creation
friends and
Story
relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, Dr. Stately's with us today, and then later on we have Maren Hardy, and she will be talking about her company, and so we're excited to have her on. And there's also Big Elders Day coming up, so totally excited to have her on later on. Dr. Stately, welcome as always. Thank you so much for being on and being just the groovy guy that you are.
Bonjour. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, Dr. Stately, I don't want to get like really political right away because I'd love to hear some updates to what's happening at Native American Community Clinic. But I just thought of something that, you know, the community's all upset about, you know, like Alcatraz, Florida Alcatraz, and all these things that are happening. And they're just going just as far back as the Nazis and Hitler. But we know where he got that information, and it's all about reservations and trails of tears. And I know Ho Chunk went through their own trails of tears where we were moved 5 different
Mhm.
times across this continent.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that don't ever really talk about in the general public is the where Hitler got his ideas from. He extracted those ideas really from like the way in which the federal government, the United States government, even before it was a government, their colonial practices were genocidal, and he extracted a lot of that information and how to implement concentration camps and all the other kinds of various forms of poor treatment that he did, and to not just the Jewish people, but pretty much anybody who wasn't white Anglo-Saxon, right? And those ideas were provided to him by, he just studied the history of the way that America treated its native people.
Yeah, I just wanted to lead off with that because I listen to a lot of podcasts and radio during the day, and it always seems to be slipped through their commentary when they're outraged with what's happening, which we are outraged that it's happening to our relatives, our brown and black people all over the United States. But let's get this history clear where this really came from.
Well, I mean, I think that there's the big challenge there is that there's a real benefit to keeping things invisibilized, right? So like when you don't talk about history and you don't talk about it accurately, and you also don't sort of like clarify for people the nature of history and how things really happened over the last several hundred years, it's easy to sort of gloss over. There's a benefit to not mentioning it. There's a benefit to not reminding people of where that came from. It serves the intention or the desire to sort of make America look like they're amazing, right? To make the United States specifically look as though they are heroes and look as though they are, without reproach. And so that's part of it. And then the other part of it is like, like just keeping people generally in the dark about the accurate history of your nation provides the opportunity to brainwash them, and essentially gaslight them. So there's a reason that they do it. There's a reason why it's left out.
Hmm. Well, I just want to let everyone know on Native Roots Radio. I just wanted to bring that up, and I don't know if it's call it out, but just bring it up as a discussion because we've been here 10,000 years, and so just rustles my feathers a little bit, my turkey feathers, not my eagle feathers, but just a little bit, and so I just wanted to bring that up because I know you are kind of the voice of reason here on Mondays.
Well, I think the other part of that is like, so like, how we talk, like when we talk about historical trauma, we talk about the harm that caused to our communities. What we oftentimes are not able to sort of enter into the conversation with. I mean, I've had multiple conversations with people. I've delivered talks and done lectures, and I even taught a class at University of Washington School of Social Work on historical trauma. Like not paying attention to those things, not talking about historical harms, not talking about the way it looked and the way it was structured within a system of governance, a system of operating within a nation's political structure, not paying attention to that and being really clear and really accurate about it provides the opportunity for us to think like, well, that's just something that happened hundreds of years ago or 500 years ago. There's no link to those things contemporaneously currently right now. And so, it protects the system from being able to be called out specifically how that's operationalized today. Like historical trauma is a series of events, catastrophic events that happen over multiple centuries and generations historically, but it's also happening still today. The systems that created the mechanisms to create those things and support them, institutionalize and make them, part of the state, the way the state operates in government. Those things are still at play. Those things are in process today. Many of those things haven't changed, and so we don't talk a whole lot, or at least our country, our society doesn't talk openly about that as being a real thing. And that's how they can say, like, why don't you just get over it, or it happened so long ago. Well, those things happened long ago, but let's talk about what's happening right now.
Yeah, well, it's funny too because the perspective of time. I've had some friends, especially recently, when Red Lake wanted to get their whole lake like it was supposed to happen originally. That I've had friends reach out to me in White Plains and say, I support you, but we've been there for a couple generations, and I just have to kind of chuckle to myself and like that's a long time.
One, we can do like a whole entire couple of shows on this conversation. It's a deep conversation.
Yeah, it is.
I've had the same conversations with people that I know that have cabins and stuff like that and reservations in Minnesota. I'm like, well, just move your cabin.
Yeah, exactly. Or leave it for me. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we're Dr. Stately. We're going to get an update next segment, I promise, on what's happening at Native American Community Clinic. But sorry to drag you in that, but I just was thinking, whoa, but you're the guy to talk to and have sensibility. We'll be right back. This is Native Roots Radio.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Your heart beats for generations. Take care of it.
There's a lot that we can do to take care of ourselves. And so I think it's important to take the smaller steps and break it down into more manageable pieces, because the little steps leads to big changes.
Every beat of your heart tells a story of love, resilience, and hope. For Indigenous women, taking care of your heart means creating more moments with the ones you cherish. Let's protect that story. Learn more at hennepin.us/heart-beats.
Rudy Luther Toyota is the dealer you can trust. Go to rudyluthertoyota.com to browse their inventory of new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Style, performance, and reliability, you can find it all at Rudy Luther. With every new and certified pre-owned vehicle, you'll get a Luther Advantage card, save 10 cents per gallon at the pump, and get $6 Works car washes at Holiday Station stores. That's right, you can get a great vehicle and help stretch your budget even further. Rudy Luther Toyota, the southeast corner of 394 and 169 in Golden Valley.
Four Sisters Farmers Market is more than a place to shop for delicious organic food. It's a celebration of Indigenous culture, food sovereignty, and community. Now in its 11th season, the market offers healthy, affordable, culturally appropriate local foods every Thursday from 11 to 3. Located on the American Indian Cultural Corridor off Franklin Avenue, Four Sisters Farmers Market is a project of NACC. every Thursday now through October. Discover more about Four Sisters Farmers Market by visiting nacd.org. Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, we have our friend Dr. Stately here of Native American Community Clinic, CEO, and it's always great to catch up with you. You are one busy dude, Dr. Stately, and I can't imagine how busy you are now going right through the middle of construction, or the beginning of construction, I should say.
The beginning. We're not even close to the middle.
Right. That was a slip of the tongue. I've seen that big hole, but I see pylons in there now, and that's very important to keep the building steady. Tell our listeners how they can support you, and a little update, support the clinic, and a little update of what's happening.
Oh, sure. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, so we broke ground in our building last month, and it was so in first week in June, and thankfully we haven't had any significant what do you call them, drawbacks and due to weather or anything like that. So it's been a really nice. I think that there was one day a couple weeks ago where it rained for like 2 or 3 days straight. We were pretty anxious that would be too wet for us to do anything, but it dried up pretty quickly actually. And we haven't ran into any challenges so far, which is good. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule, which is great. I just want to be ahead of schedule. And then I think one of the things I would say is that, the exciting moment for me was when they put up the crane. We got this big, huge crane. They're putting in the infrastructure for the crane. I think last week, middle of the week, I think when I was on site, because I was off-site on Thursday and Wednesday and Thursday for meetings, and then I was coming back from St. Paul on Friday, and a meeting I went to early in the morning, straight to the meeting, and then came to the clinic right after that. And I looked up and I saw on the crane, and I saw the big, huge American flag.
Hopefully, it was upside down.
No, that was my first thought. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to tell them to put it upside down. But our partners who are non-Indigenous, they're like, so we're trying to train them and teach them and stuff. But we actually asked them to, I'm like, it's not that we're anti-American, but I think part of it is like, there's the American flag now has some contentious sort of things that are attached to it in our communities and also across the United States. If and that's been true for a while, but it's especially a heated conversation given today's context in the current administration and all of the things that are happening as a result of that. And so I was like, well, I would really like you to have the Minnesota flag up there, if I had to be honest. And I'd like a couple, I really wanted to go really far. Like, can you put all of the 11 nations flags on that crane? There's certainly enough room. There's like the
right.
all the way across, which I would think would be really, really cool. But anyway, it was a easy conversation to have with them. And they made it happen very easily and very quickly, like within a day it was changed. And I said, we don't want to, we're not here to scold you. We're here to help you understand like why that is a challenging issue for our community, right? And I almost asked them to turn the flag upside down, but that would actually be create other problems, I would think, of a different nature. But the project is coming along really well. I think we've had a couple of like small little blips here and there, but I think I might have mentioned this to you, like about 3 weeks ago. We had buffalo heart ceremony where we buried a
Yes.
buffalo heart at the center of the clinic, which was a beautiful experience. Really, really small ceremony. There's not a whole lot of people involved. Um, but one of the things that I loved, Barry Hand, Dakota elder, um, was our ceremonial man, was our intercessor. He kind of led the ceremony. And one of the things that I loved about my conversation with him when we first started having a conversation about doing a ground blessing ceremony, right? White people prioritize groundbreaking and celebrating that, which is fine. We did the thing.
Mhm.
I wanted to bury our prayers at the center of where we're building our new building. Back on the equinox, we had this beautiful ceremony where all of our staff and some of our board members and some people from the community that are just, have strong connections to the clinic came. They offered their prayers on the spring equinox, and we put them into a bundle, and we buried that bundle with a buffalo heart in June on the summer solstice. And that was important to me because it really aligned with the idea of like we're giving thanks to Uchimakah, to Mother Earth, for allowing us to build this thing here, allowing us to create this project that's going to support our community and our people for multiple generations. And we want to express gratitude, and we also want to ask for prayers for nobody gets hurt during construction, and nobody and people are. That's a place where people find a place to heal, to congregate and socialize, and get support. And they come there for when they're happy, when they're joyous, when they want to celebrate, when they grieve and they're in mourning. We want to be a source of support to them in all these ways. And so that was a really beautiful ceremony, and it was led by youth. So what I loved was like, the young people, they buried the heart, they did all the things, while the rest of us kind of watched over them and kind of guided them. And what I loved about that is that, the youth really are the future leaders of our community over the next several generations. It's our responsibility every single time we have one of these things, that an opportunity is that we're teaching them their responsibilities that they will hold in their adulthood and in their elderhood, and they'll pass those teachings and those responsibilities on to their young people. It's really important to sort of make sure that was done. And so it was just a beautiful day, and it was really an emotional moment to me. More than like all of the other things that are going on around the construction project, that specific event was something that just made me feel really, really good about what we're doing. I knew there was an eagle flying above us for a period of time, and it was just a beautiful experience knowing that, we didn't publish this, we didn't talk about it, we didn't like tell people, okay, we just had a small little ceremony where we did the things that we needed to do.
It's interesting, you as being the great leader you are here in the community, these things that you do, and then I do, and I did for my nation, will be enjoyed for generations long after we're gone. And I think bringing that up, talking about selfless things, that we've been taught and that you teach and your organization works on is a beautiful thing because, you talk about the youth, but we also talk about what we're leaving the youth, and this clinic is just going to be something that'll be going on for generations after we're gone.
Yeah, we talk about it. We speak about it as our 7th generation project. It's like we created a building and a footprint that has a net zero impact on the environment. We have, we're trying to create a zero carbon footprint. That's really important. South Minneapolis is like one of the most polluted areas in the Twin Cities, and that has direct impact on our the environmental health. What we do, it's like, the phrase, what we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. Well, if we can be a beacon and a shining light and encouraging new projects to take responsibility, like do something to heal the earth, do something to heal the environment, that's one of the ways that we take care of ourselves. What we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. And so it was a really intentional process in the creation of that building to do that, because we wanted, not only was it because it would lower the cost of living for the people that lived in the housing above the clinic, and allow them to, use their resources to support the rebuilding of their lives, and support their ongoing livelihood. It was a good thing to do for the earth and for the community, to not contribute to, harming people's, health by creating more waste and more carbon footprint.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I just want to give you a shout out too, because that's the next 7 generations. I know you and I know about that, but I wanted to give you a shout out here on Native Roots Radio.
Yeah, it's a good reminder. Like, we're all the 7th generation, like you say on the radio. We're here because somebody thought about us.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. Stately, I really, really appreciate you coming on. As always, great segment, and hope to see you soon. And thank you so much for being on.
Thank you. I'll see you soon. Take care.
Thanks. See you later. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Your time is precious. Why are you still mowing your own lawn? I'm Alex Knorr, a young, hard-working entrepreneur serving the Southwest Metro with affordable lawn care. At Buzzcut Mowing, I offer weekly mowing, leaf cleanups, aeration, dethatching, tree trimming, and mulch installation. I work hard so you can relax and enjoy time with family and friends. Call today and I'll handle the rest. Visit buzzcutmowingmn.com. That's buzzcutmowingmn.com.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. Even though Auto Technical is a small nonprofit, we have helped more families with transportation than any organization in Minnesota. Since '94, we have reconditioned donated vehicles so they have a higher tax benefit. Call Richard at 612-919-5526, 612-919-5526, or autotech.org.
It's no secret that medical care costs are soaring, with nursing home and skilled nursing care costs being some of the highest. You don't have to deplete your savings in order to receive long-term care. At Schroman Law, we work with families to develop and implement strategic planning for medical assistance for long-term care, for assisted living, nursing home care, or home-based care. Contact us today to schedule a free consultation at schromanlaw.com. That's SCHROMEN law.com.
When was the last time you had your roof inspected for extreme weather and hail damage? This is Chad, owner of AM 950, to talk about the exterior construction company I trust, Snap Construction. If you've noticed new roofing projects in your neighborhood, your home was likely hit by hail last summer and experienced damage. Snap Construction is helping homeowners like you, and they're the roofing specialists I trust. They are the most well-reviewed contractor in the Twin Cities and have a ton of positive customer reviews from homeowners just like you. Even better, Snap Construction's installations are backed by a lifetime warranty, so you know you're dealing with a qualified roofing expert. You want to work with a company that will be here for a long time after the work is done. Snap Construction has handled thousands of claims and will help you through the process. Do yourself a favor and get a free roofing inspection so you have the facts and peace of mind you deserve. Call Snap Construction today at 612-333-SNAP. That's 612-333-SNAP. Or visit snapconstruction.com.
The Zero Res Master Certified Area Rug Cleaning Team in St. Louis Park is having the biggest cleaning sale of the year. Clean 1 rug and get 20% off. 2 rugs, 25% off. 3 area rugs get 50% off your area rug cleaning purchase. Pickup and delivery options are available. We're getting into the heat of the summer. You're going to be having barbecues, friends and family over at your house. Your rug called that's tired of being stomped on, spilled on, sneezed on, and ignored like a salad at a barbecue. We treat your rugs gently, even the fancy ones you bought on vacation and immediately regretted. Wool, synthetic, braided, patterned, passed on from grandma. If it lays flat and collects dirt, we clean it. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResMinnesota.com or call 9520-RES and ask for the AM 950 special. Spell it backward or forward spells the same. It still spells, dang, that rug looks good. Zero Res. With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Clear tonight with a low of 74, then hot sunshine again on Tuesday with a high of 92. Spend your summer with some of the hottest musical acts around at Crooner's Supper Club in Fridley. Crooner's is located just north of I-694 off Highway 65 and Moore Lake Drive. Visit croonersmn.com to view their schedules and food menus. You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Hey, thanks a lot, Wendy. Hey, Maren Hardy, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming on. We got a lot to talk about here, and appreciate you coming on. And tell us a little bit about you're the co-founder of Spirt Care Services. Let's talk a little bit about that, and then let's get into what's coming up here soon. Big elder. Now that I'm an elder, I can go to these things. Oh, wow.
Hi, everybody. So this is.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you much better now. It was so weird.
Okay. Well, welcome, and tell us a little bit about Spirt Care Services, and then we're going to talk a little bit about a big event coming up. Can you hear us?
Absolutely. It seems like it's like a 10-second delay. So let's try it, and I might have to log back in. But hey, everybody. So I'm Maren Hardy, and I am a co-founder of Spirt Care Services.
That's cool. Maren, why don't you leave and come back?
I will. I'll do that right now.
And then Wendy and I will tell jokes to each other while you're coming back.
Hey, Wendy. Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just one of those technical glitches, and you just get on, and there's a default, and you can't hear somebody, or there's a delay. So yeah, what are you gonna do? So yeah. Well, I'm going to remind everybody, it's really, really hot out there. Place some water pans out there for the wildlife. I had a little squirrel doing a froggy.
Yeah,
laying
definitely
down on the deck like a frog. So
wow.
Okay.
Can you hear us okay now?
I can hear you so much better. I think you know what it was. I had my own Facebook page playing just to make sure I could listen to Dr. Stately and getting ready around my house, and I think that's what the overplay was. So, bonjour everybody. Hey, Wendy.
Hi.
Hey, thanks so much for coming on, and let's talk about Spirt Care and what services you give to our elders, and then talk about the big event that's coming up. And we haven't had you on in a long time, so it's great to see you.
Thank you. I missed you guys. Although I would see you guys at your events and Franklin Avenue, walking down to get you a little Indian taco from Mr. Rice.
Yeah.
So Spirt Care Services is a health provider company that my best friend and I started almost 3 years ago. And it was to focus mostly on Native American elders who were lacking in services, especially for our low-income elders. My grandmother being a boarding school survivor, our elders with historical trauma and not wanting to ask or speak up for services that they know they need to help them stay in their homes longer. That is one of the biggest things that Spirt Care really wants to focus on is homemaking, transportation, and companion care. And as we all know, in the Phillips community or any low-income neighborhood, it's hard out there for an elder, and to get anywhere to do household chores, to walk to the store or get groceries or anything like that. So Spirt Care is really focusing on making sure our elders not only have transportation to get these services done, but they have great caregivers to make sure that they're with them. The isolation with their children being in these encampments or on opioids or losing a child to this opioid crisis, it's a huge deal for us to make sure our elders get these great, and I can't stress the word great enough, how wonderful our caregivers are. One of our best mottos is where Spirit Care Services, where clients become family. And it's kind of the roles are reversed because they become our family. It's to see these elders work with their caregivers and see the change in their lives is really.
Oh, she just froze. Wow.
That is amazing.
It really is amazing. When people get old and they don't have money, like she said, the poorest people who are elderly can't access certain services. And I remember my grandma, she was just, she just was living on her Social Security check, and she would take, Metro Mobility that Medicaid would pay for. But this is really a wonderful service that they're providing.
Yeah, definitely. Maren's back with us.
Yes.
Wendy was just saying what a great service you're giving our elders. How can people find out more about this and sign up their elders?
I did send you the link earlier, but if people go to spiritcareservices.com, there is a link there. There is my phone number. If people don't have my phone number, I think everyone in the hood pretty much has my number. It's the same number I've had for years when I was doing outreach. And it's just, when we have elders who tell you, I don't want to go outside because I look with my walker because I look vulnerable, that's a problem. And I'll tell you, dealing with some of these insurance companies and case managers who A, have never met their client, and B, have never even been to South Minneapolis, the Phillips community, that's a problem, because these elders deserve as much help and assistance to stay in their homes as anybody. And when they don't even know about some of these services, that's a huge problem for me. And, I get this from my mom and my sister is I don't play nice with bullies because they're not good people. And I feel like that is exactly a great description of an insurance company. And when they, don't want to give them transportation because they have a bus card. Okay, that's great. But there's an encampment on the corner of the bus shelter where everyone in the bus shelter is doing drugs. Where are they supposed to go? So I just feel like this is such a service that in our Native community, we don't have a day center, a Native American day center. We don't have a Native American assisted living facility. We don't have these services. We have the wonderful congregate dining at the Indian Center. We have powwow grounds, which is awesome, but we don't have just one specific thing for elders in our community. So we really want to focus, again, not only on Native American elders, but low-income elders, or anybody with a waiver who needs these services. And it's just such a forgotten issue with us and I know I'm very repetitive when I say this, but none of us would be here without the guidance of an elder. And it's so easy to forget that. And with Spirit Care, we're bringing back the fact that we need to recognize this fact, and we all are going to be old. We all are going to get there, and we all want the best care for our family, our parents. But what about the parents who are the elders who don't have anybody? Who's going to help them?
Exactly. Wow, that's
So how do you find these elders? Do you find them from younger, like somebody like you're talking about who may not have any family?
Mm-hmm.
How would they find you?
Well, for one, I did elder advocacy work for the Division of Indian Work for almost 10 years. So, and I ran the food shelf there for 10 years. And so if anybody knows me, they know that I speak out about everything. When I was in recovery, a recovery coach, when I was doing outreach, when I worked for GOZI at the Wall and a navigator, when I was doing homeless response coordination, I speak up about injustice that I see. I just don't know how not to. I don't understand how people don't see that sort of stuff. So when I see elders, my first thought is, do you have a waiver? Do you know about these waivers? Do you need help? Who's your insurance company? And I have the best team. My business partner does all the legwork, all the heavy work. I just do the talking. Maxine, she does all the important stuff. But it's just about getting to these communities. Getting to the public housing, getting to our elder housing, beat again, Elders Lodge, St. Paul Homes in South Minneapolis, some of these assisted livings that are waiver oriented, that we just ask them, do you have a waiver? Do you have anyone helping you? How do you maintain taking out your trash, or how do you get to the store? A lot of these, they go, I don't care for them very much because they stand up a lot of our clients, our elders. They don't like to come into Phillips community. And our elders are left to navigate getting to the food shelf with 5 bags of food. How do you get home on the bus? My dad still works at the Division of Indian Work and gives people rides home and hands out my card like Skittles. So it's about community, and in our community, we really look out for each other. And the word of mouth about Spirit Care is really taking on a form of its own. And then we'll talk about the Elders Day, but that's a huge day. I just talked. I was at a table at Great up in White Earth, my reservation. So it's word of mouth, Wendy, is really big.
Wow,
that really makes sense.
That's awesome. Let's talk a little, segue into this big event, because I want to have you on a couple times before this event, because it's really important for Native Roots Radio to amplify the good things that are happening in our community, and also the people that are listening to us all over the country, either get jealous or they open up their own programs like this. Right. But talk about what's coming up here.
Sure. So thank you, Robert. So we are, and this is in coordination with the Division of Indian Work, Sheena Benitez, who runs the Grandparents Raising Grandchildren group. And this is the 2nd annual Native American Elders Day. Last year, my co-host was Diane Grooms, who does Native Elder Games. And this year, we have a great committee, myself, Maxine, Sheena, Barb Benjamin, Wabin Spears from Relax, I know I'm probably forgetting people, Diane Grooms. We have an amazing committee that last year we hosted this, and we had about 250, 270 elders from across the tribal area, the state, the urban area, and then White Earth brought a bus down, Mille Lacs brought a bus down, Boys Fort, Fond du Lac brought buses down. This year, we are expecting to increase that hopefully by 150 or more. Mille Lacs has generously stepped up and offered discounted room rates at their West End DoubleTree for that night for $49 a night for our elders coming down. I've talked to Toby up in Grand Portage, and we want to get all the elders down here. We were the talk of the conference at Wisdom Steps, I must say. So it was pretty exciting because a lot of Red Lake elders who I've already reached out to and have talked to Marlene over at Red Lake, but they heard about it after, and they saw pictures and were super disappointed. I mean, we know as well as anybody how much our elders really love community. They love gathering. They like to see who's still around. And I'll talk again after this, if I'm still able to, about some of the vendors that we're using, about who's making our incredible T-shirts. And this is just such a fun deal. I'll go into more details, but this is just the start of the year.
Well, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and finish up with you. This is really exciting, Wendy. Wow.
Stay with us.
Hey, Native Roots Radio.
Your heart beats for generations.
Your heart is so many things. It beats all the time, and it works very hard to keep you moving through your day, keeping your thoughts clear. It's the most important organ in your body.
Every beat of your heart tells a story of love, resilience, and hope. Taking care of your heart means creating more moments with the ones you cherish. Learn more at hennepin.us/heart-beats. That's hennepin.us/heart-beats.
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The easy all-in-one plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus many extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at Health healthpartners.com/OnePlan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Four Sisters Farmers Market is more than a place to shop for delicious organic food. It's a celebration of Indigenous culture, food sovereignty, and community. Now in its 11th season, the market offers healthy, affordable, culturally appropriate local foods every Thursday from 11 to 3. Located on the American Indian Cultural Corridor off Franklin Avenue, Four Sisters Farmers Market is a project of NACC. Every Thursday now through October, discover more about Four Sisters Farmers Market by visiting nacc.org.
Hi, this is Governor Walz. Thank you for listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back. Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our Minnesota wolf population. Say no to the hunt.
Right on. Hey, we're here with Maren Hardy, co-founder of Spirt Care Services, and we're talking about this big event. I just wanted to get it at the end of the segment for a little teaser so people stay on and listen. Oh, wow. So let's talk a little bit where and when and how and a little more of the history if you want.
Absolutely. So it is the date, September 17th from 10 to 3. The location is Veterans Park in Richfield. And just if you can see behind me, I don't know if you guys can, we've got our proclamations that we got last year from Jacob Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis, and from our lieutenant governor, signed by our Governor Walz last year, and we've had those the last 2 years. We've had these amazing T-shirts made by No Words Concepts, No Words LLC in Minneapolis. If you need, it's a small business, homegrown, from a Southside Minneapolis young man who is amazing, does great work. Last year we flew in an Elvis impersonator from Las Vegas. He is back by popular demand. We have Grant Snyder from Involve MN, who will be doing the cooking. Leech Lake has donated wild rice. American Indian Community Development Corporation is paying for the Red Lake walleye. We have awesome raffle prizes, gifts. We have amazing vendors coming. There's too many at this short time to name, but we will have probably about 50 vendors. We have all the urban agencies coming. We have many Shields volunteering to help serve, which is awesome. I'm hoping to get Teen Challenge involved to help serve. Our goal is to have a day of just elder appreciation. That's it. And it's just where they don't lift a finger, get prizes, get T-shirts, have fun. Jerry Dearly's our MC. It's just, if you haven't been there last year, you can go to WCCO Red Chapman last September. I believe it was the 18th, and see the excerpt of the coverage that we got for it.
That's amazing.
It really is.
That is really amazing. I guess I really missed out. I was working. But this year I'm not a legislator anymore, Wendy.
Yeah. What day of the week is it?
It's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay.
Because for our elders raising their grandchildren, we want them to come by themselves. We want this is just for the elder. This is just for them to sit back, play bingo, have some raffle prizes, enjoy each other. And hopefully it was very warm last year. So we're hoping it can still be in low 70s September. But gosh, it was 87 last year. It was very warm. So
wow. So it's outdoors. Okay.
Yes.
Sounds beautiful. Sounds like a wonderful event.
And I have your website on the bottom scrolling, but we are a radio show. I wonder if you can get that out. It's spiritcareservices.com, and
Spirit,
people can
Yep, spiritcareservices.com. And if you just go to our website, there is a link to donate, a donate button. You click on that button, and we are actively looking for donations, actively looking for volunteers. This takes a community event. I mean, when we have hopefully about 400 elders this year, it takes a village to do this, including the setup, the serving, the tablecloths, the takedown, but it's so much fun. I mean, it is so fun to see these elders come together, knowing we should have once a month do this, to know that Spirit Care and the Division of Indian Work and the difference Spirit Care Services is making in the community, because we're branching off now to medical transportation to help with medical rides. I would like to talk to IHB. I'd like to talk to Dr. Stately about partnering with them, because our elders shouldn't have to worry about how they're going to get to their appointments. It's just not okay that they sitting at home and worried about these things when they're already having these later in life issues. So,
wow,
it really is amazing. Yeah. I was, during the when you went off and on again, I was telling the audience about my elderly grandmother, and she used Metro Mobility, and she got elderly, and we were all working, so we couldn't, bring her to the appointment, but she had pretty good, results with that. But when she went to the grocery store, she was only allowed to bring, 2 bags with her, because that's all she could carry anyway, and then we would help her on the weekends when we could. Yeah, it's just really, you come into life as a baby and you need help. And then when you leave and you get elderly, you need help. It's just,
the
a
big
cycle.
circle, right?
Yeah, really
the
is.
circle of life, really, Wendy and Robert, it really is. And again, and I can't stress this enough, none of us would be here without the help of an elder. None of us. And it's so easy to forget that when we have our own lives and our own stuff, things went on on our plate. And especially in our community, we know how difficult it is for our grandparents having asked for help because of the fear of losing something in the process.
Yeah.
And the historical trauma proves that they don't like asking, because what gets taken away, right? And so for Spirit Care, I don't have boundaries. So for my elders, I get phone calls, I get text messages 7 days a week. I drove an elder this morning to the airport to go home. He's not native. He's indigenous to Panama, but I drove him to the airport at 3:30 this morning, because he didn't know how to do that. So this is what we do. And we're getting the reputation of going above and beyond, because it's what all of us should be doing, right? And the people that I know, the people in my circle already do. And I cannot stress how wonderful our employees are. These are gems, like on our, and me having a background in a past and being in recovery, we always give second chances. And this is what it's about, though, especially in our community and the things that we face, the barriers as Native people face. And so it's just super important that people realize that this takes a community, it takes a village. And with Spirit Care, we love it. It's like, what they say, when you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life, right? Well, for the past 3 years, I haven't worked. It's hard and it's challenging and it's stressful. But when you have an elder thank you and write you a card and or call you and say, I pray for you every day and I'm grateful for Spirit Care, that's all. That's what this is about. That's it.
Wow, this has been an emotional show for me today. I know.
Seriously.
It's crazy. So one more time on the dates and where it's going to be.
Yep. So it is September 17th. It is going to be from 10 to 3 at Veterans Park in Richfield, Minnesota. And if people, the phone number for Spirit Care is 612-295-0224. That's our mainline number, but my cell phone's is on my card. But again, it's September the 17th from 10 to 3. All elders, if you need transportation, that's a big one. We provide transportation to this. We don't want anybody to miss it at all.
Wow, Maren, I got to get you on the show again just before a week beforehand so people can remember about this. This is Wow, this has just been amazing, and I really
Mhm.
appreciate you being on.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you both, you and Wendy, and everything you guys do for our community also. And anytime you need me on here, let me know. You know, I don't shy away from the camera.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thanks,
And
you guys
know
too.
what?
Giga Waba Minin.
It's great seeing you in the community all the time too. You're a
Thanks,
doer.
Robert. You too.
Right on. Hey, wow, that was amazing, Wendy.
Yeah, Peanut Gigi.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. Great show. We had Dr. Stately on and Maren, and this is what we try to do here for the community. Wow. Hey, we're still here. If you're listening to the show, you're part of the resistance from Chief Plenty Coops. The ground on which we stand on is sacred ground. It's the blood of our ancestors. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office, and vote. Leonard Peltier is free. We'll see you tomorrow.
The city